I want to get into this fascinating topic today on exercise and health and nutrition and what it means for leaders. But Mike, let's start with you on what you're doing with your Vistage practice. Tell us a little bit about that.
Paul, thank you. And I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you very much for the invite. I've been both a member of Vistage and I'm now a chair, and I've been leading a group for the past 3 years. So I'm an executive coach and I chair a Vistage peer advisory group made up of small and medium-sized business CEOs. So we have 15 members right now. We come
Nice.
together once a month. We hear a speaker, but then importantly, we work on issues that the different members are facing. And the members in the group are all from non-competing companies, which lets us have very open conversations about what's taking place.
And Mike, you and I obviously have talked a lot offline, and I've always fascinated by the fact that your members they work together, they completely open the door, vulnerability, they're talking about issues that are challenging, and they really do pull the curtain on what's going on and help each other out. Is a fair way to assess that?
Well, oh yeah, it creates a safe harbor for the members, so everything we
Yeah.
talk about is confidential. It's the one place a CEO can come and talk to other CEOs that understand what he's going on or she's going on. It takes that lonely at the top feeling away from somebody and gives you a group, a cohort of people that you become both close friends with, but also business friends with.
And are they interacting with each other away from the monthly meetings and talking and working on things?
Absolutely, and you see that happen as a new member comes in and they start to meet with other folks in the group between meetings. It's exciting to see those bonds take place, and it's exciting to hear somebody come in and say, I had lunch with Charlie and we did this, or I had lunch with Megan and we were doing this,
Yeah.
and they learn from each other in that process. So it's just a great experience, and I'm passionate about it because I was a member and I know what it meant to me and my company when I went through it.
So Mike, we were talking offline before we went live, and you were a member of Vistage and running your own company before you became a chair. So I imagine you've experienced probably everything that your members are going through.
Oh, absolutely. And the ability to get together with other CEOs and have very open, frank conversations, both about your business, but also what your personal life is and what's taking place there, because we bring our whole selves to work. We don't leave our personal life at home.
Yeah.
So it's tremendously helpful in that regard.
And you have open seats, Mike. Who are you looking for?
We have, pretty much anybody in one case, but let me quickly run through a couple of the industries. We've got manufacturing, technology, software development, telecommunications, publishing, healthcare, finance, insurance. So it's the full range. So yes, we're looking for folks in all those categories. And if they're not possible to get into my group, there are other chairs and Vistage groups in the area that have openings too.
Yeah, and I want to say for everyone listening that Mike's contact information is going to be around this video. So wherever you're watching it, because we stream this everywhere, get connected to Mike. Mike, I know you'd be happy to get on a Zoom session with somebody and talk about what's going on, just to start building a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great. Well, awesome stuff. And now, Karene, we've got a lot to talk about with health and fitness, and I know you get up in my grill very frequently about staying fit and healthy. So what do we need to know here? What are we talking about?
Well, I just wanted to start off to say how much I love Vistage and excited about what Mike is doing. I too was a former Vistage member and a former Vistage chair here in Washington, D.C. And, those relationships you build as CEOs is quite incredible and is a lot more potent than some might think. I remember speaking to a CEO who said, if he had a chance to do it all over again, he had been a CEO for 35 years. And he said if he had to do it over again, he would have gotten into a peer advisory group earlier on in his career.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really powerful. So I'm happy to share more about health and fitness with Fit Hidden Figure, where we transform physiques in a matter of weeks using the latest in technology. This technology measures human performance like DEXA scan, metabolic testing, glucose monitoring, and VO2 testing.
Yeah, and you're running, so obviously Hidden Figures, your business, and I know your passion comes from the fact that you have been a bikini bodybuilder. That is a category and have won competitions there.
Mhm.
So, fair to say that's where your passion comes from, Karene, and you've done it for yourself, and now you're advising others.
Yes, but it runs a little bit deeper than that. So when my mom was 48, she passed away from breast cancer. And when I was 35, the doctors put a lump in my breast. At the time, I was in investment banking. I have about 25 years experience in investment banking. And I left corporate America to go on a wild health and fitness journey. And this was to save my life. The last time a woman in my family had a lump in her breast, she was dead 2 years later. So I had to get off the hedonic treadmill and figure this out. So I went through this journey and I worked very well under pressure, right? So I decided what kind of pressure could I put myself under to figure out this health and fitness? And I go, I'm going to sign up for a bikini competition. That will do it. And it sure did the trick. And that's how I got into the bodybuilding world. So I created a program that brings together a mathematician, an engineer, and a bodybuilder to come together to create a program that will transform physiques using the latest in technology. So that is our competitive advantage.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm going to defer to you. I know you've got some questions as we get into this. Yeah, you want to take over a little bit?
Oh, sure. Thank you. And Karene, you have such a great story. You're on such a great journey. But let's go back to some of your kind of inspirations. Your company is called Hidden Figures. Now, I heard somewhere that was inspired by the movie of the same name, which is one of my favorite movies. And literally, Hidden Figures, a group of women of color that were kept in the back room and yet were key to the space exploration program.
Hmm.
What's your inspiration and how does Hidden Figures the movie relate to your business?
So when that movie came out, Mike, I was in the middle of my fitness journey. And I was literally in the gym working out, preparing for my competition. And I saw the movie, and the movie inspired me on such a deep level because the main character was a mathematician. And growing up, I had always been highly gifted in math. I got a perfect SAT math score, perfect GRE math score. And so my childhood, it was very similar to the main character. And it resonated with me so much that I instantly created a Instagram account called Fit Hidden Figure. And when it was time to build a business, Fit Hidden Figure was the most logical name we could come up with. But interestingly, one of our first clients was Carla Hall, America's Top Chef in 2019. She was in her 20s. She was a French model. And she came to us and she said, Karene, I just wanted to know, I have a great figure. It's only hidden under a few layers of fat. So that's why I'm coming to Fit Hidden Figure.
Okay, very good. You also, one of the
Yeah.
other philosophies you have that really resonates with me, I read somewhere about you value incremental wins. And that reminds me of James Clear and his Atomic Habits book that talks
Mm.
about getting 1% better in a number of different areas to create a large impact. What's your philosophy of incremental wins and how does that relate to your business?
That's a good question. Paul, where did you find Mike?
It's
This
all
is
him. I had nothing to
amazing.
do with it.
So that's a great question, Mike. So in the area of human performance testing, there is a technology called DEXA scans. So say someone came to me and they weigh 200 pounds. The DEXA scan will tell us how much is fat, how much is muscle, how much is bone. That's basically what our bodies are made up of. Now, when I get those results, I create a meal plan and a training regimen based on those results. They follow the regimen and they go back to the DEXA scan facility to see their fat mass go down and their muscle mass go up. So I cannot begin to tell you how excited our clients get when they go back for their follow-up DEXA scan in 3 to 4 weeks, and they see 6 pounds of fat loss and an incremental 1 pound of muscle gain. It's almost like when we were in school and we got good grades, how it felt, right? It inspires the client to move to the next 4 weeks, right? And, a lot of our health and fitness is a mindset, right? So you have to find ways to get folks engaged. So when you have a metric that measures performance, and you see the scale alone would not be helpful, because if we're gaining fat and if we're gaining muscle and losing fat at the same rate, nothing changes on the scale. And then folks give up, right? So when they have the DEXA scan and they can see the incremental fat loss every 3 to 4 weeks, they get excited and they get engaged and they stay on until they lose up to 30 to 40 pounds of fat on the program.
Wow. And you talked about the metrics you do that with. And one of your other initiatives is to help fitness specifically with people of color. And so my question is kind of, what are your metrics there? And are you able to make progress in that demographic? Are you able to make a difference there?
Absolutely. So, when I was starting my fitness journey, I was looking online for inspiration. I was looking for inspiring quotes centered around fitness. And I looked, not thinking about people of color, I was just looking for inspiring quotes. And I saw some great ones and I cut them out and I put them up in my little home gym. And a trainer came to my home gym and said, Karene, why is it that all the pictures of these ladies on the wall, none of them look like you? Why is that? And it occurred to me that there wasn't a lot of representation for women that look like me that was making strides in the fitness industry. Even when you get into the upper echelon of bodybuilding, you can see that to be the case. So I wanted to help make a difference and, bridge that gap. We talk about pay equity. We talk about gender equity in the workplace all the time. And, there is a significant data by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that published that if someone is overweight versus someone that's in shape, the person that's in shape will most likely get paid more, right? Because, subconscious biases exist, right? If you look at the Fortune 500 CEOs right now, most of them are in shape, right? So when I looked at the research, I wanted to help close some of that gap as well. And that was one way I thought Fit Hidden Figure could help do that.
Wow, that's tremendous. You're doing so much along this journey, both sharing your experiences and what's taking place. Let me ask, given your range of experience, having been a CEO, having transitioned from corporate to literally building your own business and being focused on healthcare now, or healthcare and fitness, if you had a message or lesson that you could share with other women CEOs, what would it be?
Well, the message would be all CEOs, not just women. But the message is this: if you don't make time for wellness, you'll be forced to make time for illness.
Wow.
Another way to put it, if you don't invest in your wellness, you'll be forced to pay for illness.
That's great.
That's very memorable, the way you put that.
Yeah, never heard anybody say that way. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Karene, thank you for sharing all that.
Yes, absolutely.
One final question, if we have time.
I wanted to share something on that topic, Mike. The reason why that's my message is, remember, my first career was in wealth management, okay? And I lost my mom at 48 years old, and she was a pharmacy professor, and she owned her own pharmacy, okay? So I grew up around a lot of entrepreneurs, okay? When she passed away, our family lost a lot of wealth because a lot of money was invested in her education. As a family, I was around when she matriculated to the farm dean, right?
Where growing up where? Growing up where?
In Kingston, Jamaica.
Right.
Right. And when she died, it was a significant loss to our family's wealth. And I was 25 at the time, and it had me thinking, what is the purpose of having all these accolades? I grew up in a family that was about academia, about being a successful entrepreneur. And what is the purpose of all that accolades if you're not living long enough to enjoy it?
Mm-hmm.
In finance, we learn the concept of human capital.
Mm-hmm.
And when you die at an early age, you lose human capital, which can be very costly to your family. So when I decided to switch from wealth management to now health management, I truly understand that health is really wealth because I've been in both industries.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had to choose which one would be best for my family, I chose health.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
great.
There's so much to learn from you, Karene. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for asking some very thoughtful questions. You got me there, Mike. This was amazing.
Well, you've got such a great story and such great background. We could talk for hours.
Yeah. No question. No question. Well, yeah, this is great. And I want to say to everyone listening, Karene's information will be around this video as well. Get connected to these two people. They're doing a lot of great things. And I know both of you will be happy to get on a complimentary sessions with anybody on Zoom, learn more about them, vice versa. So that information will be around here. And yeah, thank you both. Excellent. Love it.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks
Paul.
for having
Karene,
us.
great talking with you.
It was great speaking with you too. And thanks for having us, Giant Jax Media.
All right.
All right.
Bye for now.
Love it. Okay.